Hello, it is Lord Hayward. I'm streaming some 2D Forex today, like I do most weekends. I really wasn't feeling it today. I've been saying that a lot, but I figured I want to get this one part done, and that's kind of like my motivation lately. It's just I just want to get some stuff done, and I never feel like programming. Man, my music is way too loud. You guys can't hear it, but it is so loud. I gotta turn this down some. Um, I never feel like programming lately when I am offline. So this is my motivation to get um, some progress done on the game. I am thinking about hiring someone though to help out for a little bit, get some more progress done. But today we are going to work on subordinates. So you can hire subordinates here to fight. Well, they can do a variety of things, but right now we're just doing combat. So we're gonna hire. You can hire subordinates to fight, and you know what? This is what I was thinking of yesterday after I got offline, and I forgot about. I was like, oh man, I was thinking about something. We forgot to add in equipment usage. Add in equipment for combat. Yeah, we forgot that. All right. They have equipment, it's just not used yet, and we definitely need that in there because what would be the point of having equipment if it's not used? So as we were going through combat, because this code is pretty old, it's probably at least a year old. Didn't we fix this yesterday? I think we fixed this. So as we were going through some things, hey, Lucky, how's it going? Yeah, it has been a long time. As I was going back through this old code, there's a bunch of stuff that we stumbled across, so I added all that. We're going to do all this before we push to main, maybe? I don't know. I've been wanting to push to main more frequently because then it looks like things are happening. If you push to a branch, no one looks at that shit. What have you been up to, Lucky? Let's see here. So the first thing we want to do, let's double check. Actually, we can double check right here. Let's hire some subordinates, and we can double check that. Okay, that already happened. The morale thing. All right, so average morale is 100. That's correct. Setting, I forget. What are you going to school for? I assume computer science, but why should I assume that, right? All right, so the thing we got to do in reality here is we need to add a new method. And I can't remember where this was. I think it was in diplomacy, even though yesterday was when I worked on it. No, it was under battle control. Why do you have a little line on you? Use var. Shut up. Okay. Physics, chemistry, and maths. Plan to choose if I get high enough marks. How is your school going? How are your marks? Man, I definitely am not I love, college. It was so fun to learn new stuff, but at the same time, I did not like doing homework and stuff like that. I had to be really interested in it, and I would lose interest as time passed, like the beginning anthropology I really liked and didn't really lose interest in that. I almost went into a career of anthropology. Then I got sidetracked with real life. That's real life gets in the way of school, especially when you have to work and stuff. Okay, so somewhere we are using this in a for each loop. Here it is. So Yeah, here's the hourly battles. So I think what we should do instead is um, we should have a temporary list here. What is this list? This is a Godot list. I don't know why it is. We're going to do a Godot, I forgot a period, collections. We're just going to keep it the same. We're going to have an array of population data, and we're going to go, so these are the defenders. Defender, defenders. I was going to put list at the end, but it's not a list. And we'll make this a new thing. And then after this, actually, we probably can put it all in one line. We want this. I don't think so. I was thinking we could use that append thing, but I think we have to use a real list, like a real list, a C# list for that. So we want what? I didn't. That was the note from earlier. We want this. I think it's append. Adds a value to the end of the sequence. No, it's not that. I used it one time, and I remember there was a reason you don't use it. We'll just ask ChatGPT. I want to add. Well, let's see what this other list is actually, because this other list could be something else. It's over here. A different type is what I mean. It's over here somewhere. We want hero subordinate. It's also a Godot array, so that makes life easier. I want to add. Currently, you're getting enough marks to secure mechanical, chemical, or aerospace engineering for computer science at a good college. I have a rank of 800 plus of our 180. Wow, that's pretty good. Aerospace engineering sounds pretty interesting too. When I went to community college and I tested into like English for morons. I want to combine, and I was surprised not only by how like the people that in the class with me could barely read, and so I was surprised by that. And then the whole semester was just preparing for this test that was like you had to take this test. It wasn't like a test in your class. You actually went into this big auditorium with all the other people, and they had like two of these tests a year, and so it was this massive test. So the whole semester was just preparing for this test. They showed you the questions from the other years. They blah blah blah. You just did it over and over and over again. And so by the time we got to the end, I assumed everyone would have these questions down. They were word questions, and it was the standard college thing, where you go like the first sentence is your hypothesis or whatever, and then the next three are your supporting statements, and then the final one is your conclusion, right? That's it. That's what we just over and over. We just did this over and over for the whole semester. So easy. And I was surprised because when we went to do the test, they give you an hour, and it took me like 10 minutes because we had done it so many times. And afterwards, I talked to some of my classmates, and they were just like, wow, that was so hard. I can't believe how hard that was. And it's like, dude, we just spent a whole semester. So yes, I understand like Did they not study? Did they not? How did they get the? It was really strange. Um, I don't know. I want to combine two Godot collections. Right? Right? Um, yeah, that was an interesting experience. They also had us like so at the beginning they didn't. So when I say the full semester, it was like the first 2 weeks they went over basic English. Um, you can just put a plus? No, you can't just put a plus. Really? Um, but they had us write like creative writing, write a short story with a group, and once again I was shocked at the lack of imagination. Um, I have a hard time believing that you can just put a plus there, but let's try it. Then this is gonna be, oh, how are we gonna do this? This is wrong. We need this to be here, and then we need this part. It's not that part. I mean, we need a cop. What is going on here? We need this to be here. No. We do need this, but we need this plus, no, we need population data. This isn't, okay, I'm doing this completely wrong. This is what we need to do. We need to go population data. It's subordinate something. Here is subordinates dot add. Oh, that's not going to work. I think we need a for each and a for each. JEE Advanced is said to be one of the toughest entrance exams in the world. Wow. So what is your what is your goal? Because you have all these options. What are you thinking about doing for a living? So there's something, we have to do something different here. I think we need a for each inside of for each. So this is the hero. So this is getting the heroes. And then if they're willing to fight, we need to for each through. I don't think we're going to do. I was thinking we can make it easier by having two lists or combining two lists, but I actually don't think we can do that because we need to check if the hero is willing to fight. So if he's willing to fight, then he'll do his attack. Then we'll for each through all of his subordinates. Why am I typed in people. I just did it again. My fingers are. Let's call this subordinates. Subordinate in. No, not. Yeah, in. Man, it is not suggesting. Then we do this attack. Now, I wonder how this. Whoops, not cut. Wonder how this is going to work. We can't call this random index. We'll call this hero. And we'll call this one subordinate. Okay, so I'm going to put some notes in here. Check to see if the hero is actually willing to fight, and if they are not, then they're Subordinates dues don't fight either. Whoops. Oops. You can't decide while you're there. I couldn't decide either. College will give a sign rank under 1500 is considered unremarkable. Is that, are you in the U.S.? You said something earlier, and I was like, oh, he's not in the U.S. I forget what it was. What you said, and I was like, do you want to work wherever you're at, or do you want to move somewhere else? Subordinates attack. All subordinates attack. Okay, so we can copy this thing. The defenders. No, this is the defenders. The attackers. This should be up here. I feel like I did that yesterday. And then we need to for each through all of our guys here, except we need to probably call. No, it doesn't matter. It's fine with this. This is fine. Let's rename this one, this random index though, to hero, just to keep it consistent. County attacker attacks county defender. This doesn't have the willing attack as a. He did just put in 100K fee. I don't know if that's gonna last though. I feel like it's. Yeah, you know, back in his first term, I have a friend in Canada, and he had got a job at LinkedIn. He was hired, and they had to take it back because Trump did something, and I can't remember what it was, but he did something, and they took it. They took it back, and he didn't. So he had already even put in his notice at his Canadian job. Okay, so this is gonna cause. We need to put this also in here. Actually, we'll put it here, and we're gonna put this though subordinate. We need to make, because this is our cheat for testing. So the defender will, the attacker will always win. Yeah, I don't know how. So I read an article recently, like yesterday, about how like people who were going from the United States to the United Arab Emirate for some reason. But I guess it's a common destination for Indian people to go to, and they all, when they heard the Trump news, and they all wanted off the plane because they weren't sure if they'd be able to get back in the United States. They were coming from the United States to the United Arab Emirate. But yeah, the definitely threw a wrench. Randomly just announcing stuff just throws wrenches into things. Okay, hourly, this seems to be right. So this is the thing, though. I had another thought while I was typing this in. We're going to have to... It's right here. This. We're going to have to somewhere save. We're going to have to check the average. So let's put this in. What did that call? That was something. Continue battle needs to check the average morale, not just the hero's morale. The nether thing. Like some of these things are because we're changing things, and then some is just because the code's old, and I guess it's all because we're changing stuff. But there was a few things that were like little minor bugs. Like who's messaging me on Discord? Okay, so let's test this first though, because that's my thing here. So we'll hire some subordinates. Then we'll declare war. Then we will 6 isn't bad. Well, it depends on the type of college. So there's 2 different types of college. There's community college, which is anybody can go to community college, and that's what I went to. So you can, for that, it's just, and you can do 2 years at a community college, and if your grades are good enough, you can transfer to like a real college. So that is how the vast majority, but then the rest have like entrance exams. There's the SAT. So you take this test called the SAT, and they use that for your entrance stuff. We got 2 people. That looks good enough. 2 people is good enough. Let's declare war. Oh, here's another test. What happens when they're recruiting? It should stop them because they're moving. I do know I put a note in yesterday. But they also look at like your high school transcripts. The SAT is like the main one. So if you want to get into like a good college when you get it out of high school, you got to have like really good high school grades, and then you also want to take do the SAT and get really high scores, and then you get into a good college. But you also like could go to community college for 2 years and transfer to like an okay college. I don't think you could transfer to a really good one. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. We're going to declare war. We have declared war. We're going to move to here. And we are attacking. It looks like 1 attack already happened, so we can double check this. So, oh, we didn't import that yesterday. There's also AP classes. What does AP stand for in high school? Advanced prep, maybe? What does AP stand for in regards to high school? Advanced placement. So you can, like, if you're kicking ass in high school, you can do AP classes, which are classes that prepare you, and some of them even count as credit for college. And some of the AP, so if you're going to transfer, no, the SAT is considered extremely difficult. Like nobody passes, or nobody gets all of them right. So we got to check here. What's our person's name? Mary Nelson. Yeah, we're definitely going to need this other list back. It's confusing as fuck, even just for me, and I know that we can click on this. Mary Nelson attacked. This is at 1700. I'm only seeing 2 people. Yeah, I'm only seeing 2 attacks. So what do we do wrong here? Battle, we're already here. Did I not save this? No, it's saved. Yeah, and the SAT I think has also like an essay section. I don't know, I never took it. But there's people prepare for it, like a ton. And it's people prepare for it, they hire people to train them for the SAT. They hire people to take the SAT for them illegally. I guess I don't know if it's illegal, but it's fraudulent. Okay. Heroes in county. So this is the defenders. They don't have, well, actually, they could have a subordinate. Can I hover over this and get some info? They don't have any. They don't have a subordinate. Oh, they don't, the subordinates didn't get applied. Okay, so what happens is normally the subordinates get moved with them, but I think something broke here. So this, we had, oh, wait, maybe they weren't fully hired yet. That could have happened. Let's restart and double check. So let's go back to here. Because there is a, they get hired basically, and then they got to actually get their shit together. Let's speed this up. But we can check them, and I forget how we do it. So this person is recruited, but I think they need their, oh, you know, I think there's an easier way to check this. It's after recruited. And I can't remember what it's called, but we'll see. Oh, we lost the guy. Where'd he go? So service is what we want. So service, what happened to the one guy? I don't think that's supposed to happen. I don't remember his name. Otherwise, I could check on him. Actually, we know that Ronald Jerry Harris. Wonder why you quit. Okay, so there's a bug there somewhere. See, we're finding all sorts of shit. When recruiting, sometimes a recruited person, maybe I'm just forgetting how it works, but sometimes a recruited person, how does it work wherever you're at? How does the getting into college will just stop being recruited after they have already they are already in the recruit activity, but before service. Okay, so service is what we want, because service, they go with the person. We can test this next thing with, we gotta declare war. Oh, I didn't put this up at the top. I know we changed it, but I think this is on the wrong panel. Isn't this person recruiting still? Oh no, we have one of one. There's something weird going on here. Because I put it on 2. Oh, oh no, it looked grayed out to me. This is the right panel. Alright, there's something weird. We changed that the other day, and I bet you there's a minor bug that we never noticed. Let's make sure I can see the bugs popping up. But we do have one person, so we can test this. And I already forgot their name. I already see a problem here. And that is probably this is the population data is this person's attacking. We want subordinate to attack. Man, fuck this all up. And this is the same. Subordinate random. I think I copied this down from the top. I did. So this should be battle. Let's double check all this. Now I'm confused. For each hero, we're attacking. This is the visiting army, and we're attacking someone random in the visiting army, because these are the defenders. So that's right. We're attacking with this population data. We're going to call this hero data. No, that's going to be confusing. We'll just say hero, because this is the hero doing it. This is going to be the hero random index. So this is, we go, this is the defenders once again. If he's willing to fight, then we have the hero shooting people, getting shot at. I feel like I should swap those two. Like just have it so the attacking person is here and the defending person is here. That wouldn't be that hard to fix. Or switch, I guess. But whatever. This is the person shooting. This is the person. You know what we could even do, actually, even better? We could call this attacker hero. This is not the attacker, though. This is the defending hero. So the defending hero is attacking the visiting army. And then we go the defending hero's subordinates. Or you name this defending subordinates in this list. So this is the defending, and they're attacking somebody random in the visiting army. That looks correct. So then this one is going to be the attacking hero. And it checks this is our cheat. This is going to be attacking the heroes in the county because they're defending. And then we're heroes in the county, and that's the attacking. That's right. And then for each of these, if there's this is going to be the attacking subordinate. And if they're, this is our cheat. And then here, we're supposed to be attacking people in. We're attacking ourselves right now. It's not a just shooting ourselves. Shooting the person next to you. You're attacking, but you're so then this is the attacking subordinate. Okay, so that looks a lot better. That's confusing, but I actually, I have all those notes that say that it's confusing too. I think it's kind of the way it's gonna be. We might be able to break it down some, but hey, Crystal, what's going on? So let's go back to this. So we changed this so this should spawn. Yeah, and it does spawn. I wonder what happened to that one dude. I wonder if it'll happen again. Let's put it 4 speed. We gotta wait. So okay. Carl Hill has been recruited. Let's see if we lose him at some point. Alright, so we recruited also Martin Wilson. It is very hard to tell. I remember we were gonna do something on here. I guess we didn't do it. Where we were gonna have show what status they're in. So they're both on recruited. We're gonna wait until they go into service. One is on service, one's recruited. We haven't lost them though. Maybe I just misremembered. This guy's still unrecruited. Come on, dude, get your shit together. Maybe we should put a thing over here. We definitely should have some sort of status so the player knows. Okay, so now they're both in service. Okay, so then we need to declare war. And then we're going to go over to here. This is, I think, when the guy disappeared is when that happened. But these guys are both in service. Maybe I restarted the game, and that's why that somebody... Man, my memory's terrible. Okay, now we can check this. If we can click on this. All right, this looks right, because we see all these are 1900. Wow, I paused it right at 1900. I guess it's like a split second. Martin, Carl, Philip. Oh yeah, scroll doesn't work on here. And then the defender, Roger Rodriguez, attack his hits. And I see a typo. Where's my 2D4X here? And we want this to be lowercase. And we want this to be lowercase. And we're going to save that. Okay, so the attack has hit. So what were we doing here? 1900. So this is the defender, Roger Rodriguez. Attack has hits. The shipbirds, Philip Young has failed their cool. Their morale lost 17. This has the correct number of subordinates. This has no subordinates, so that's kind of right. Let's make sure that Philip... Oh, Philip's... he's not a subordinate. Oh yeah, there was that bug. Let's go back over here. So all three of these suckers should be, and they are. All three of these dudes are shooting at Roger, but Roger isn't scared. For any of them. This guy's tough. So let's go back to the hour before that. So Martin Wilson missed their shot. Jesus, Roger just not. He's just people can just shoot at him all day long. He doesn't give a fuck. So then Roger attacked. Philip Young has failed their... we need to see if he fires at somebody besides... Oh, that's not going to work. My code's wrong. Okay, so currently that we are going to need another list for this part. So currently he'll never shoot at the subordinates. No one will shoot at the subordinates. So we do need another list that we probably, so we could put Godot. I keep doing this with spaces. Collections.array, population data, attacking defenders. What we'll do is we'll do defenders, and then we'll go equals new. Can we just do this? And then we'll do Godot collections, array, attackers. So then we can... We'll do this differently. We'll just rewrite this whole thing. It kind of worked, but it's... I mean, it did work. So no, it half worked. A third worked. A third? So what we'll do is we'll go back to my original idea. So if the defending hero is willing to fight, we're going to add onto defenders, we're going to add the defending hero. Then we will also add in defending heroes dot do I have to for each that shit, or can I just add it? I bet you have to for each that shit. No, get the fuck out of here. Defenders. Add defending heroes dot hero. Can I just do that? No. I would like to just add this in. I'm going to tell ChatGPT to do this. Because why not? Can't, how do I do just this part? Oh, it thinks I'm still talking about that. I should have, no. I want each subordinate added individually. Let's see here. Add range? Really? My music stopped 1 second. Oh, and let me double check this over here. I forgot. I like to always double check. That's my test computer. Make sure shit's working. What was that? That's Twitch? Doesn't look like. So sometimes, especially with YouTube, I have a hard time telling if it's actually working. So I remote it. It doesn't seem like it's working. I guess it's working. If I sit still and not do anything, it says it's working. All right. See if my sometimes it seems like it always turns out it is working, but a lot of times when I like double check it to make sure that chat is working and whatnot on YouTube. And sometimes like when I look at the I don't know if it's an admin panel. I don't know what it is. But if I look at the panel on there, it just is like stuck and doing nothing. But it is doing something, but it looks on my side like it's not doing anything. So I like to double check to make sure that it seems to be doing something. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do that. If he's willing to fight, then we add these two. We have this defenders list. Then we take all of this out. I feel like I'm forgetting. No, this is we take all that out and we kind of put it down here, except we get rid of this because now we have a list of all of the defenders. Like we've added all the defenders, and then we for each of this. No, we don't put it down here. We put it right here, and then we for each all of our. See, that's why I made the title this, is because I knew that we would be defender. We would be doing a lot of foreaching, but then I thought we could skip it, and then I was wrong. So let's do this. We're going to change this note here. We're going to put this down here. KD. Then we'll go. Do you, Crystal, do you also stream to YouTube? When you do multi-stream, gather all the defenders. County defenders. We can get rid of the word county. I mean, defenders attack attackers. Defenders attack attacker. Okay, so then in each one of these, we're going to go back to this just being a random index. And then we don't have the visiting army thing yet. So we need to gather all of the visiting army people first. So gather all the defenders, then we need to gather all the attackers. YouTube's weird. Yeah, YouTube's weird. I don't know. So if you try to find, like, if you know somebody's streaming on YouTube and you try to find their um, stream without going directly to their channel, it's really difficult. And I did an experiment where I picked different categories. So every time I streamed on YouTube, I'd pick a different category that was related to my stream, and entertainment category was the best category that I always got more people. Like the other categories, I'd get nothing. And on entertainment, I would get like one person. So I always set my category as entertainment, and then I change it later when I'm done with the stream. So on this, we're going to Foreach the visiting armies. And we're going to add attackers. And then we're going to, so now we're going to have an attackers list. And then we have the defenders attack the attackers. And they're going to, this is going to be attackers. So we're picking a random person in the attackers list. So we got to get that. So this is the person getting shot at, which is the attackers, because we are the defenders. And then this is going to be the defender is attacking. The defender is attacking the attacker. So that's not confusing. And then this is just me random index. Okay. So I really feel like, I'm just going to swap it. All I got to do is do this. I really feel like the attacker should be before the defender. So we're just going to swap this. Put that back. Then we'll go back. It only has 4 usages, right? We got to check each one. So we need to swap this now. Yeah, the content, seeing, like, that's weird too. And, I was telling Joker this, and, like, the number of hits that I get on YouTube and stuff it's insignificant to the world. Like, you got to be getting, like, 10,000 hits. It's same with Twitch. You got to be getting, like, 10,000 hits for it to matter. Like, yeah, I'm a failure. on both things. Not 10,000 viewers, but YouTube hits, you need to get like 100 viewers on Twitch. So we have shooting population is the defender, the getting shot at population is the attacker. Yeah, exactly. On YouTube, 10,000 impressions. After like a couple of weeks. So then we've gathered everybody. Why does this one look different? Oh yeah, because we need to do the willing to fight, because they made us run away. So then the attackers, we already know they're willing to fight. So then the defenders attack attackers. We have this. Then we need the attackers attack defenders. I guess sometimes I'm putting periods. No, it looks like I always put a period. So the first thing we need to do is put our cheat in here. Actually, the first thing we need to do is for each. I'm just going to rewrite this. The other stuff is pointless. Population data. Yep, exactly. Then this is going to go here, but this is going to be attacker. At some point, we're going to have a defender thing. Okay, so we check their morale, and then we actually just do random int random, and this is we are attacking. I'm just got to double check this. We're attacking the defenders, so we're getting the defender list, and then we're going to attack. The shooting population is going to be the attacker. And I don't... This one's false. This one's true. I don't remember how this works. Is attacker is false. Is attacker... I don't remember why there's a difference between these two. But this would be true if we're following this, but then I put this in wrong, I think, because I copied pasted that. But this should be true. I don't remember, like I said, why we have a distinction between the two. Then we continue the battle. Let's KD this shit. Okay, so let's go back through this. We have our hourly battle. We have the defenders. We have the attackers. The defending hero. We go through each of the defending heroes. And it does this every hour, which is good because you could have reinforcements show up. If the defending hero is willing to fight, we add him to the defenders list, and we add all of the subordinates in there. We gather all of the attackers. We have the attacking hero from the visiting army list. We have him because he doesn't need to check if he's willing to fight because he's he's already attacking. He's the attacking guy. He's the attacking hero is added, and his subordinates are added. Defenders attack. So then we do our defender and defenders. We get a random on the attackers, and we attack the shooting population as defenders. The person getting shot is a random person. They are not the attacker. Once again, I don't know why that matters. Then we have the attacker and attackers. So this is every one of these people. We're going to boost their morale. Then we have this. We're attacking the defenders. So we're getting a random person, and the attacker is attacking, and he is an attacker. So now let's do this again and see what happens. That looks somewhat right. We need to re-import this thing. You got auto-modded? That's you. It's usually Joker. Oh, it's because the word viewers was in it. I blocked it because of those, the bots. If you want to put together a small number of viewers, I think Twitch is awesome. Yeah, if you want like a tight community, but the thing is that like Twitch is always hemorrhaging viewers. So there's like you got to keep regaining. Like it's. I mean, it probably is partially the streamer's fault, but Twitch is like people just lose interest in Twitch. Okay, we need to recruit somebody. We're going to keep an eye on that one thing that seemed to be a bug, but I have a feeling it was just my bad memory. All right, so we have 2 people that we're going to try to hire here. Let's go to 4. Let's go to 8. This person might suck. This person sucks at recruiting. All right, we got 1 person. Let's double check them. There they are. They have a 2 in Scout. That doesn't apply to anything that we're doing right now, but just to just to point out that they suck. All right, so there's the two people there. They're currently, one's recruited. Where's your? Oh, they're right next to each other. Two. Yeah, we need to definitely have that. Like, I actually saw an article that said that Twitch recently admitted that their viewership is going down, and I was like, I've been hypothesizing that forever. Now we need to wait for this one person to get their shit together. Yeah, we definitely need a marker on here. Okay, they're both in service, so now they are going. Oh, I forgot to declare war. What happens if we declare war after we say we're gonna move? That is something that I don't know if we've ever tested. We're gonna test it right now. Oh, we won too quick. The time was too fast. That's okay. We can try it again right here. Okay, you. I kind of wish you could stretch this box. Not kind of. I do wish you could stretch this box out. Okay, Martin Evans. How many do we should have a bunch. Well, a few. Yeah, look at all the 11 o'clocks. That's what we're checking because it's 11:45. So Phyllis, I think I just clicked through the UI. Phyllis Robinson. No idea who Phyllis Robinson is. Must be. That's a Faction 2 person. Must be. This is a bug, by the way. This shouldn't stick there. A subordinate of Michael Price, but we can't see that because that's. Oh wait, we're down here. Sorry, I'm not used to the fact that we won that battle so quick. Philip Robinson is here. I wonder if they have. Oh, we can. They have no subordinates and no subordinates. Okay, so we're fighting. We have two subordinates, so it's a 3v2. So let's see here. So back to this. We want 11. Phyllis attacked. She's a defender. So that worked. And that person isn't scared. Whoever Ralph is actually one of the subordinates. So that's correct too. Then we go. Oh, this remembered where my scroll was. That's strange. Sarah Davis attacked, has hit. Keith Riviera isn't scared. Who the fuck is Keith Riviera? That's our hero. Keith Riviera's attack has hit. They failed their cool. Their morale is lost. We know that that's a person. Yeah, this all looks right now. Ralph is the shipbirds, and he actually is a shipbird. I mean, yeah, fuck that guy. That's what I mean. Fuck that guy. Martin Evans' attack is hit. Sarah Davis, they failed their cool. All right, so that all works. So making it that way, it actually looks better too, honestly, than that other gibberish. This is a perfect time, though, for me to take a quick break. So now we have the subordinates going, and we just need to do these few hundred things here. Where's our subordinate thing? Oh yeah, we got to do the equipment. No, that's nothing to do with that. But add equipment to combat. That's gonna be the next thing we're gonna do. Attack damage. These two are gonna be. This morale is now right. I'm pretty sure. He should be 100 all the time. Yeah, their morale's 50, 97. Yeah. Just a few. Lord Mac, how's it going? Yeah, exactly. Probably 1,000. Though I am feeling more confident lately that there is a time when I can put out like a real test where I can say like I want some feedback. I put out those ones, but um, I feel like it's getting close. I was also saying I'm kind of feeling like maybe I should hire someone for a temporary person to help. Where the fuck is the subordinates thing? Uh, to help get some progress done. The next major thing, since saving and loading is almost done, when we're finished with that, the next major thing we're going to do is multiplayer. Um, when you get to the popular discussion, did I already close the subordinate thing? All right, whatever. I'm going to take a quick break. I will be back in less than 5 minutes. Let me throw up my break timer. Let me pause my music you guys can't hear. And I'll be right back. All right, I am back. And let's see. we got the subordinates thing done. Let me put this back up. And add equipment. So let's look at our attack and how this thing works. This confusing thing. So we added these attacker log, or we adjusted the attacker logs yesterday. So we used their shooting skill. What does this equipment even have on it? I don't even remember. It's been that long since we fucked with the equipment. So let's look at equipment. It's the equipment. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a data. Okay, so it gives us a bonus to their attack. It doesn't say these are being used, so that's a problem. Let's fix that. So when we save the game, for equipment bonuses, I feel like I have a whoops, my break timer is still on. I feel like there's a spider on my head. Inventory slot we need. It's crazy that this has not been noticed and it says it's not used. It probably was just reassigning the equipment every morning, which is not how we want it. So let's figure out where we need this. So this is going to be under population data. How are we doing this? I think we have like an array or something. Well, we need to add, this population DTO is probably missing the equipment. Use newest, okay, here's our inventory. We have a dictionary of string and good DTO. How are we doing it from here? Here's this dumb shit that happens every single time. So this is the inventory slot, and what good data is assigned there. Okay, so then back to our DTO. Actually, it's over here. We need our from. This is to DTO. This is how we save it. Inventory DTOs. What? This is what? Inventory DTOs. Where is it getting that? Population to DTO. It's at the very top. Why would this be at the very top? Because we're doing it ahead of time, I guess. Convert dictionary slots. Yeah, I guess we do this first. What is this? Convert, let's get this stuff out of here because it's somewhat confusing. Convert enums to strings for inventory. Okay, so we go, what is this? What does this even do? New chat. What does this do? Taking your time here today, huh? Chat GPT. I'm still not comfortable with this stuff. Like eventually I will be, but so I always have to ask it to break down what the fuck this thing is. If it's null, it just creates an empty dictionary. If the inventory is not null, it calls toDictionary on it. This means it converts one dictionary into another with different key types. Okay. Original keys are likely enums. It's completely wrong about that, but that's fine. It makes it a string. All right. So that makes sense. It safely converts a dictionary into a dictionary string. All right, so that's what we want. So we have this thing already saved. Their inventory is already saved there. So then from DTO, except there's a missing step, actually. No, when we do from DTO, actually, we can, so those things don't change. Those equipment, we can pull that from a list. Okay, here's our inventory. If no inventory provided, initialize an empty dictionary. Okay, so we already did this to a point. For each string in the population DTO inventory, convert the string back into an inventory enum. If the good is, it converts it to this. So we have the good there. Let's look at our save data, actually. What is this thing called? Inventory? Inventory. It's all null. At that time, it would be null. All right, let's go back to a very beginning. We'll make sure that there is something in their inventory, which we can do right here. They don't have any inventory. We don't have anything to put in there. We'll give them something. Yeah, we don't have any inventory for them. Let's double check that. No, we have primitive scouting equipment. That should be getting applied. So something is broken here. Let's look at primitive scouting equipment. Primitive scouting equipment. I think the inventory slot should be reconnaissance. I think that's how we're doing that. I wonder how this got set to none. That worries me when stuff like that happens. When things get changed in there are very important resources there. So when we click this, there we go. So then we can save this. We can go back over here. We can search for inventory again. And we're looking at every single person here. What if we look for primitive? There's no primitive. What if we look at scout? No. Okay, so something is not working here. So we have, the problem is that this isn't saving. It's saving their, wait, no, it's saving their slot. Reconnaissance. Let's double check. You have, let's look at the newest equipment. What? Newest is false for this person. We just want to see one true in here. I probably should just look for their name. Yeah, because there's going to be like 80 people. What is this person's name? Their name is Randy. Randy. Thought we had a problem there, but we do not. Inventory, here it is. Okay, so their inventory did save. I think we don't need all this crap. Oh, we need the amounts. We'll just leave it, I guess. Max amount is 200. Oh. No. This is wrong. Okay, so what this is doing, this is like this should be a copy. Is it a copy? Yeah, this should be a copy. It shouldn't have anything in the amounts because this is using, this is using equipment data as reconnaissance, so that's wrong too. The equipment data should be primitive scouting equipment. How did we do this over here though? I knew there would be, with the saving, there'd be a few things that we missed and we'd have to fix. Yeah, it looks like I mostly fixed this, but not enough. Let's go back up to our equipment data. We don't have any. Because they're assigned under the goods, they're here. Oh, that's it's using the, okay, so this isn't going to work quite how I have it set up. If we, so now my question is, if we go to like paper, do any of these have one? Oh, I guess I'm not actually checking them. What did I do? Canned goods had it, was my other test? It is. So if we set this to say offensive, does it change this one? It doesn't. Okay. Let's get, actually we'll leave this as for a test. And we'll have our canned goods as things. So how are we going to do this? So why did I make this its own resource? We could get rid of this resource and have it just, I think I was doing like a null check or something, but we could just have these in the good data. So before I was less into having just like extra variables in things. I like to like break them apart because it was easier for my organizational mind. But later on, I've noticed that it's harder to deal with. I think we are doing a check though for if these are null or not. This isn't going to work though. So what we need to do is we need to so there's two ways we can do this. I think we have a list of we do have a list of goods somewhere. We could just reload it from the list of goods, what this is. So we would load it from the, I think that's what we'll do. The other thing we could do is we could save it here, but we don't need to do that. Unless save data, I think is better. We already have whatever, we're 11,000 lines. It's a lot of save data. So let's go back to this thing. So we go through this. If the good data is not null, convert it to a good data. So we have a good data here. And what we need to do, we assign it to the slot. But what we need to do here is like apply whatever it is. Is that thing a fucking dictionary? I don't have it open. I can't remember if it's a dictionary or a list or what. It's the auto load, I think. Yeah, it's a list. What a bummer. Okay, so if it's a list of good data, we need to for each our way through. See, it's always for eaching. We need to for each our way to victory here. I guess I'll pin this. I actually haven't used it that much. So back to this thing. And I'm surprised we don't have like a get good from list thing. Let's see if we do. Load names, read resources from disk, get all exploration events, get count goods. All right, we don't. We might have it in globals, maybe. We kind of moved a lot of the stuff out of there. Okay, we don't have it there. So let's go to our good data, wherever the fuck that thing is. Good data. And we will. Oh, here's our reflection copy. Did we actually use that in here? I guess we must have. We're going to do a public static good data. We're going to get good from auto. Do we have a capital in there? No. Auto load list. And we're going to pass in an enum that is the good type. We could pass in a string, I suppose. Right now we'll do that, but maybe we'll do a string, and then we'll go for each good data in auto load space dot instance dot all good datas if good type equals good type. Is good type the one we want here? Is that in my memory? It is. Return good type. Return nothing. Come on, fingers. Usages 2. It says there's a better way to do this. Turn into a link thing. First or default. Perfect. So then we're going to go back. We're going to copy just this part. We're going to go back to our thing. Wherever the fuck that was. What the fuck were we just doing? We're back onto our population data. Then we go. So this is the inventory. We're going to get this. It's going to return to. Is this going to work how I want it to? It is. So we're going to pass in that. we have this from the list, so then we're gonna go equipment. This is gonna be a good data. Equipment. I don't want to call it equipment data because that's an actual thing. Good data for equipment. And it's going to equal this. And then we're going to go good data dot. What were the things? I'm suddenly worried about this because it's keeping this number. Is this affecting our save game and fucking shit up? It does keep that there. So this is not a copy of it. We need to make a copy of this. Where do we assign this shit? Let's put a note in so I don't forget, because I will forget in 5 seconds. Make a copy of the good data when it is assigned to inventory. Right now, it is a reference. And then we create that. Move to top. Come on, motherfucker. Okay. We're going to finish what we're doing right now, though. What we need to do is we need to set this good data to have the right stuff. In its equipment data spot. So it's equipment data. I'm going to move over here. And we're just going to go... that's... I want just this. We're going to put this over here. And then we're going to go back. Oh my god. Did I just do it twice? No. Where's the rest of it? Now I only got that. Where's my other, It's gone. Okay. It's fine. Sure. Oh, it's down here. What? I didn't know you could do that. Learning something new every day. All right, so we're gonna need this. We'll just do it this way. This is great for what we're doing. We're in the wrong thing though. And we're gonna go to here. Good data, equipment data dot. I'll just copy all of this over, I suppose. Equals good good data for equipment inventory slot inventory. Oh no, we got a equipment data dot inventory slot. I wonder if these are going to be null though. We can look at the save game, I suppose. I think that's going to be null. So let's do this. Let's do, for this good data, we'll do a new equipment data, new equals new, but we can do that thing. This thing, I think. It is quite difficult to use this little thing because I'm not used to it. Then we go like, I think we get rid of this. And we go like this. We put this up here. We comma that. And we comma this. And then we go, oh look, it's giving us some sort of equipment bonus. I feel like equipment tier is before that, but, and I just want to put equipment tier in here. Equipment. Okay, you're not going to let me do this easily, so we'll do this. Equipment bonus, comma. You can come back over here. Tier. Equipment tier. And we got something else going wrong here. Okay, KD. So then this is, so for this inventory slot, it should now get this back to here. We don't actually need to save that equipment data, any of that 2DTO. So what we'll do to test this is, this is from DTO, yeah, because we're pulling this from this other thing. We need to, I want to close, I want this to go back to how it was. There we go. All right, let's rerun this. We need to load it. I don't know why I'm worried about loading. We need to save it first. I guess it probably shouldn't matter. We need to equip something. So you are going to get some canned goods as your offensive weapon. I guess he's throwing them. Primitive scouting equipment. So that's right. We're going to save this. We're going to load this now. And then we're going to check. So that seems right. What was the note I put in? Okay, let's figure this thing out. I don't know if we're going to need this. I don't know if we are going to need these to DTO or from DTO because we pull the info from the auto load list. Okay, so let's go figure out this inventory thing. I have no idea where we were put that in. It happens every day, so I guess we can start from there. Happens every morning. So that's gonna be under county maybe, or did I move that shit? I moved that shit. That shit has been moved to. Did I? Yeah, I think I moved that to some. Oh, here's the find neighbors thing that I was talking about yesterday. I don't remember where I moved this to. Maybe it's under county? .cs. Yes, it is still under county. I moved the generation. So end of day comes first. I haven't looked at this in a while. We need to find like the equipment thing. Maybe that's end of day. I can search for equipment. Equip all the heroes. After day's start. Equip each hero. Okay, then we also equip the heroes and their subordinates. So why the fuck am I looking at this? Because we need to make a copy. So we equip for each hero that we pass in, we equip the hero, and then we go through all of his subordinates and equip him. I kind of like the way I just did the other thing, where I make a list first, and then I just run through the whole list, but whatever. So what does this do? Good to equip. So we have something called good to equip. This is kind of complicated. Then check. So we have good to equip. What is all this garbage? If their slot is null, we do good to equip, which we pass through to here. We assign it to the population. We take this out of there. This is where things are going wrong. Man, the hall master does a lot of stuff down here. Oh, right, and then they got to put it back. This happens twice? Put the original equipment back. Get the equipment. Well, that looks like that's wrong to me, but it works. So, we're just adding and subtracting numbers from that. So this one, we probably need to duplicate. Duplicate isn't going to work, though. You probably need to be a good data here. You probably need to be cast. So how are we going to tell if this is working or not working? So we are going to be able to tell by the same way we just did that one thing where we looked at the, oh, you know, Lord Mac, I forgot. I played some of that Endless Legend last night. Wonder how many minutes I played. 30 minutes. I played 30 minutes of it. I am very burned out on we need to change it here on the like Civ wannabes, I'm gonna call them. This is not gonna show what we want though. Actually, I wonder if we loaded if this would overwrite. Yeah, so I played it for a little bit and I was like, oh, this is like a Civ clone. And I'm very tired of Civ clones. Why do we have so much available storage? We'll not worry about it. Okay, so if from here, if we load the game, did it just reset that stuff? It didn't reset that. Then if we save the game again, what happens? What is this dude's name? Jack? Jack. Yeah, that's not gonna help it. Garcia? I think that was his last name. Wait, we got 2 Garcias? You sons of bitches. We did. We got 3 Garcias? Okay, inventory was down here. Somewhere. Did I just go past it? I did. 0 and 2. Okay, so when we loaded it, though, it reset the thing because we're pulling it. I think we fixed the problem. Except... this is wrong. Let's get rid of this save. I wonder where else we're loading and... yeah, this is wrong. This is right, but primitive scouting equipment is not offensive. It probably gets overwritten. I mean, it does get overwritten. Otherwise, well, let's check. Otherwise, it's going to be in the wrong spot. It is in the right spot. I'm gonna put a note like on saving just about that. It seems like in the inventory that um, seems like in the inventory that when loading and saving, the equipment data is showing the wrong enum. It doesn't seem to matter right now, but because we are loading, we are populating that info from the auto load later, but it probably should be fixed. We'll do that. We'll put this in the next round. We have so many things going on that I've stumbled across. They're all little things. Okay, so that's fixed. Now we can go back to our combat somewhere. Our battle control. And we can double check where we have. Okay, so we get the skill level. And we're just using rifle right now. We might want to change that to like some other. I've talked about this 100 times. Maybe not rifle, but like ranged combat or something. What if they're using crossbows? Then we're getting their tribute. We're getting their tribute level, and then we apply their tribute level to the tribute bonus. So this is grayed out because it seems like we're not using this. Oh, additional bonus? Attribute bonus. Okay, something's wrong here. The additional bonus is going to be our equipment bonus. And then we don't have any perks. But there's something's wrong here because we didn't have that stuff when I wrote this originally. But this shiz looks like it's in the wrong spot. So yeah, it should be the skill level, the attribute bonus, the additional bonus, and the perks. Let's see what this what we do with a tribute bonus. Are we doing anything else with this? No, we're just straight adding this shit together. Yep. Okay, so there was two bugs. Probably I didn't have attribute bonuses originally when I wrote this, so I just put that placeholder thing in there. I don't know if that's the best idea though, because then we don't notice that there's a problem. So this thing should be here. Not attribute level. Tribute, I think that was just a typo, honestly. The attribute level, we have the skill level. Yeah, I think that was just a whatever, a mistake, a bug. We're going to call this additional bonus, and we're going to go, we're going to get the bonus from their equipment. So we're going to go, what do we have here? Shooting, population, inventory. This is a dictionary by inventory slot, so that should be all enums. I'm literally in my head, I'm like, wow, at least I set this shit all up, or like where it'd be easy to grab this information. You know, each time as I learn, I learn more and more that like you got to be able to get this information easily. And 5 seconds, I'm gonna be like, this is impossible to get this information. But anyways, offensive. Sorry, this is equipment. Did I just fuck myself? No, what is this enum? Inventory. Inventory slot. That's what we want. We want offensive. Then we're going to go equipment data. Then we're going to go equipment bonus. All right, so we have the additional bonus, and it's not going to be in here, except I spelled additional wrong. My music has stopped. Remove unused variables. Additional And this is going to be additional bonus. And then, so what I should have done is put that to do perk bonus in there. Like where I have the perk bonus, I should have had that. We don't have perks for this yet. Because one day, I put these in here so that I could search through all the to-dos and fix them as things became apparent. Okay, so we should now we should be rolling with their skill, the equipment bonus that's applied to that primitive scouting equipment, which is a 5. So we should be getting a 5 bonus for using a primitive rifle. Honestly, I think it should be a negative. We're going to have to balance all that stuff, but I think that with your primitive scouting equipment, no, we're getting a bonus from the canned goods. Canned food, which is a 25. But I think when we put in an offensive weapon, like a primitive rifle or whatever, it should be a negative. And then we would work towards it, but whatever. Okay, so it's a 25 right now. Let's test it. We're just kind of looking for errors more than... It's going to be kind of hard to test it, but we'll get some subordinates. Oh, this guy can have 9. We will check this so that they're using the newest equipment. We will let this roll for a while. We'll just hang out for a week. 2 weeks. Hang out for 2 weeks and pause it. We'll check everybody here. 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 people ready to roll. We're going to go to diplomacy. We're going to declare war on these suck ass. And then we're going to attack here. Let's slow this down to 4 so that... Wow, these guys got obliterated. We have a bunch of people with us. We can hover over. We have 6 people, and they got none. They could have had 12. Jacqueline here could have, if they had time. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where in this particular case, we started recruiting troops. We sat around for 2 weeks but these guys, then we declared war. But if this was another player, they could see that the guy appeared. And so they could have, for the 2 weeks, they could have started recruiting. We don't have that written for the AI, but all right. So there should be like a ton of stuff on day 14. In fact, it looks like I was able to pause it quickly enough. So AI Faction 2, they hit, but then Chris Martin isn't scared. Chris Martin attacks, his hit, they failed for 20 points. Emily Watson attacked, Carol Peterson attacked, Doris Rogers attacked, and they failed their cool. Kathleen Sanchez attacked, Jacqueline has failed their cool, Christopher James attacked, and Michael Griffin. We actually, because this is busted, we can look at this. Michael Griffin is on the list. Christopher James is on the list. Kathleen is on the list. Doris is on the list. Carol is on the list. Emily is on the list. And Chris Martin is the actual hero. So that's right. All that worked. And we're just going to assume the bonus worked. Because, what? I don't know. What is going on here, though? Why are we using this? We have another thing going on here. So how does this work? So So we do our attack, and if this is true, this person's checking their cool. They're getting, once again, we have their attribute level. But we're using their skill level. We use this, we're attribute level. We're using the wrong attribute level here. I wonder if Visual Studio didn't give you such a good clue that this wasn't getting used, and that's how I missed these things. I'm going to blame it on Visual Studio. It's not my incompetence. So we get the attribute level, and we see if they get a bonus from their attribute. And then this goes through here. They were getting the bonus of the other team's attribute level. All right, that's fine. Let's go through our list here. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm listening to. It's Green Day. Oh, it's Offspring. Jesus Christ. Let's skip it. Back to this whole thing. Make a copy. I'm going to move this down, actually. And we'll just double check this. We'll edit it. I'll probably forget about it and not care about it later. Double check. I do that at my work too. I have all these like lists of tasks and things, and after like months, sometimes I just look at one and I go, nah, I don't care about that anymore. Add equipment to combat. It has been done. Add damage to combat. Let's do this one first. This one we fixed. Actually, either one of these is fine. Okay, so average morale. I was talking about that earlier too. We could store that number somewhere, just check it every time, or create it every time. It's not that big of a deal. So when we're attacking, we do all these cool checks and stuff, but there's a, what was it? It's under battle continues. So we can close this thing. We can close that. We can probably close this. Probably close that. Hopefully close that, and that's fine. So this is here. Attack. No, where was that shit? It's under, we don't need that. I thought it was in battle control. Yeah, it is. It is. Continue battle check. All right. So before, it was checking. I wonder if we want to do that differently now that I think about it. So I was thinking average morale. No, I think it should be average morale. So the problem here, so we got to think about this is how combat works. So let's say we just did the battle we just did where there's a bunch of people. So there was like 6 people on one side. There was 6 people on one side and 2 people on the other side. Or no, just 1 person on the other side. So the average morale is actually going to be spread out between those 6 people, you know, because it's the average. So there could be somebody with 100 who's holding the whole thing up, holding the morale up as the other ones get like dinged slowly or slower. While the person on the other side, there's just one person, they're going to be getting shot at a lot. It's going to go down really fast. Let's think about even fight. Yeah, I think we can do average morale. Yeah, we'll just do average morale. Where did I write that other code? Because if I'm going to use it twice, let's write a thing for it. Average, not this way. Let's write a method for it. Here it is. Okay, generate hero token. And oh, this is in the tooltip we did this? So wonder where we should put this. We need to stick this somewhere. Because otherwise, like it's right here, honestly, we're counting all of the morale. It's this whole thing. So we can move this somewhere else. It shouldn't probably be in the battle control. It should probably, actually the battle control I think is going to be moved. All that stuff's going to be moved out of the battle control. Let's put it in like war, battle or something. It just dawned on me that, yeah, the battle control works for the player. I mean, it not dawned on me. We talked about this before, but we're definitely going to have to move that shit out of there. There's a hidden battle control on all of... No, there's only one, yeah. What if I have two battles going on? So the weird's going to happen. All right, let's go use that battle public class that I wrote ages ago that's pretty much empty. Battle. It is empty. Let's put this in here. Public. We're gonna return an int, and it's gonna be public static. Can we do a static? Public static int get average morale. And we actually have the battle location here. So we don't have to, oh, but if we access this, it can't be static? Why are you gray? Because you're never used. Perfect. Because we need to get the population data. I guess we pass in a population data. It's weird that it's offering that as a... hero population data. Get average army morale. We're going to call this here. I was thinking about not just doing population data, but I think it's going to be confusing later when we see this on its own. Let's just copy this. Let's paste this here. Whoops, something bad happened. There we go. We need to return average morale. All right, so we have get average army morale now. This is a static one, and it seems to be working. So let's go back to wherever the fuck that thing was. That was the fuck was that? I was just looking at it. It was the tooltip thing. Were you over here? You were. So what we can do here, delete this shit. And then we'll just pass in this thing. There we go. Much better. We can even delete that line. Even more better. Then back to here. What we'll do, attacker, I'm going to take a break. Average morale equals, nope. Oh my God. Attacker, average morale equals battle, get average army morale. I don't know what this attacker select token bullshit is. This is going to be an int. And then we're going to copy this whole line. And then we're going to put you there. And we're going to call this defender. Defender. We're going to go defender. Okay, so then this is going to go up here. And then this is going to go here. We're going to have to make this combat more complicated, by the way. This is we're going to have to do like combat width or something. I don't know. We're going to have to do it. Right now the advantage is on the one with the oh, I remember how I was going to do it before. I was going to have them run away individually. Maybe we'll do that. I'm going to take a quick break. And yeah, I was going to have them run away individually. So like if each person's morale goes down enough and they run away, they would be taken off the list. But they would still stay in the same area. They wouldn't actually move to a different thing. They would just be like taken out of the battle. Wow, maybe that's the way we should do it. Same if they die. All right, let me throw a break timer, and I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Hopefully. All right, it wasn't less than 5 minutes. It was probably pretty close, though. I had to go to the bathroom. Whoops. Wrong click. There we go. It's in a new place now. All right, I was thinking about this while I was outside. We're going to rewrite how this works completely. We're not going to use average morale. All right, so this is good, except in this attack, we're going to change this up. All right, so the thing, I got to think this through more than I just did. This is going to be kind of major, but that's okay. We are going to... so how's this going to work? So what we want to do is a hit isn't a hit in this. We want to do... So the skill check returns a bool, and I'm thinking maybe we don't want to do that. We need to return... All right, let's go from the top here. So a hit doesn't mean you actually hit the person. A hit could mean that you hit near them, and then you reduce hit points after that. Like if so, it's like a bullet zinging by their face. So one of the ways I was thinking about doing it is we could do the hit by we could return levels of hit. You know, like if the hit is 20%. Between 20, like let's just say your skill is, and it's between 30 and 50, that is a miss, but they take a morale hit. But then if it's the 1 through 30, it is a actual hit on them and they take damage. So that would mean changing how the skill check is. We can rewrite the skill check to be like a combat skill check. We can have normal skill checks, then we can have a combat skill check, which is not the end of the world, and it might be better. I was trying to have a catch-all for the skill checks, but I've noticed in the past that when I do that, it just makes things kind of convoluted. It's easier, actually, to have smaller... I guess we do need this skill data thing again. It's easier to have like smaller things. Check with bonuses. A learning check. We have a combat. We have a bool, I think, that says if it's a combat skill. The defending combat bool is temporary until we rewrite how combat works. What? If defending in combat, we check their cool. Otherwise, we check their rifle. Okay. All right. What does this shit say? This does a skill check with a attribute bonus already added. The reason why we aren't passing in the actual skills is because sometimes we're testing just some random number. I swear the one I was just using was a skill check, just straight up skill check, but no, it has all these bonuses in here. These are the, like, I think we should just have a new, because it's going to return a bunch of stuff. We can actually have it return like a public class called like combat results or something. The other way we could do it is we could check, and if they hit, then we check again and see if they hit again. And if they hit again, then like the first one gets the morale damage, the second one gets the, why are these in little things? Um, that's weird. And what's going on here? We should probably fix these other things, but okay. What's this? 1 is the lowest. Whatever is max. Oh, because they can have a bunch of negatives. Yeah, and they always hit on 1. Okay, just double checking my stuff there. We also need to add a perk bonus. Oh, wherever this is used. This is wrong. We don't do that. Let's do. I'm trying to think because like if you do 2 skill checks, it's really gonna be the people who suck are really gonna suck. So getting killed in this should be somewhat difficult. Not like so the damage shouldn't be difficult. Like getting hit for real. It's the morale is gonna be the real check. Man, next weekend we're gonna be working on this the whole weekend because this is a pretty major change. So let's think. I think we'll do the two rolls. Let's put a note in here. First skill check for 2 hit. If this passes, then the attacker has gotten close to the attacker's shot has gotten close to their target, and the target must roll their cool. The second skill check for the attacker is to see if they actually hit and damaged the target. We might change our mind later. Okay, so we have this whole thing. So this whole thing is going to become its own. This part, because we're going to use this again. Actually, from here down. Wait, what's that else? Okay, no, it's from here to here. We're going to have we need a bool, or yeah, we need a bool. Actually, let's go back. Put this back for a second. So this whole thing. So inside here, though, inside this giant if thing, we need another. So this is this shouldn't say hits. This is when we have to do like these major things. Let's just write it all and then break it up later. Because we're gonna have to. That's what it's gonna have to be. Getting shot at. Getting shot at skill level. Getting shot at. Getting shot at. Wait, is this right? So this is the attackers. Why is this all getting shot at? That should be the attack. The shooters faction data, the getting shot at faction data. This is checking their cool. Is something seriously fucked up here? This is the confusing one. So we have this shooting population. Okay, okay. So this is the 2 hit. So this is the first hit. Then we're getting, if this first hit happens, then we check defender's morale. This happens regardless. So this is considered a hit. So then we go through this whole thing and we put in that the attacker hit them, but we actually are going to have to rename that. Then we say, then this check is where they check their cool. So this is where we hit. We check their morale. And then this is if we fail the morale, we say that they lost their morale. And let's get this old shit out of here. Let's get this out of here. This was from yesterday that we fixed yesterday. Or the day before, whatever. I think it was yesterday. So let's get rid of that stuff. We got the logs that were working. That's what that was. Let's move this to-do back over here because it's throwing the shit off. Okay. So we check the defender's morale, which we could probably make this its own method. And then if we miss here. So then after this happens, though, it doesn't matter where their morale is. We need to check if they hit them for damage. So basically in here, we need to change this, though, first. We're going to say, this is going to be a phrase. After all that agonizing yesterday about the phrase of attack as hit. Is attack, whoops, is, so this is if they roll and they're successful in their skill check, but they're not actually, if they fail their, it's going to say they missed. If they pass this, is, we don't want to say hit because it would be too confusing for the person. Like the player is going to be like, what? They hit, but then they didn't do any damage? Fired near. What do they do it in close combat? What do they call that? There's like a little activity thing when you're getting shot at. We could do. We'll just do is shooting at. Is shooting at. And then that would say if they missed. Now we need to translate this. I really wish we could do Latin American, Spanish. I know I say that every time, but now we're just going to keep saying that. Okay. Back to here. Which one did I copy the English? No. Oh, it did this new line thing again. There we go. Shooting at, and then, oh, we have to change this though to have the rest of this person. What do we have? We have the getting shot at population dot. What do we got there first? Don't we have a thing that gets their full name? I know we do. Yeah, we do. We have a thing that's like get full name. And then you just put it in the populations. I think it might be a static. It should be. I would be wrong. Shooting. Maybe we just put it. It's been a long time. Get full name. Yeah, we just do this. And then we get rid of this. And then we do get full name. There we go. And we have an extra space in here, so we'll get rid of that. Okay, so this is shooting at this person. We're not going to put the faction over there. So this says that this is shooting at him, and then they're going to roll all their cool. They aren't scared. That's if they hit. If they fail, it's just going to say they missed. Right? So it is not going to say who they're shooting at. They're just going to fail, and it's going to say they're missed. So if they hit, second skill check to see if they damaged the person they shot at. So this is like they're shooting wildly. And then we copy all of these bonuses are still okay. So we do this. The same bonuses. And we go, get out of here. Then we're going to have to do some hit point damage. Get the fuck over here. Okay. So these are the same bonuses up here. I think I'm going to rename these. Shooter skill level. Nope, wrong clicks. All sorts of wrong clicks. Shooter, because this can get confusing. Shooter. No, they're shooting wildly when all the time. They shoot wildly all the time. No, this is so that's if they miss their roll. It's the equivalent of them shooting wildly. It's not going to actually say that. It just because they got it. There's two. They have to pass their skill check twice now. One to scare the person, and then the second one to get hit if they actually take physical damage. And then that's also going to cause, something about this when I was outside, if a person gets hit, it will cause this cool check for the whole army. And then if a person gets killed, it will cause a skill check for the whole army. But the army leader will have a thing to, they'll be able to test their cool or their leadership skill like once per hour to try to get back some of the morale that is the morale that is lost. We should actually, it should not. Yeah, because it's going to check morale every hour to see if the person runs. Every single person. um, but that is actually a good idea. If they have low cool, it would give a negative. They're panicking. I'm going to put that in my thing though, because that is a good idea. Not here. When we're back to war, we're going to be coming back to war a lot. I mean, we're coming back to everything, but where's my war? When a population has low cool, their attribute. Actually, that should be. It could be. They can get a bonus too. Let's rewrite this little note. Like if they start out with a high cool, they're not panicked at all. They should get a. We could put that in right now, actually. That can be their. Oh, we already have an additional bonus though. Possibly. I have to think about it. Have a bonus / negative to rifle skill based on the population's cool. So if they have a high cool, they get a bonus to hit, but if their cool is low, they get a negative. We could use the attribute bonus chart. So I was just thinking, or actually it would be morale, not cool. No, well, it could. Their cool is a skill though, so it never goes down. But we could use the morale. I'm going to put a note on the note. Where did I just put this thing? We actually would use morale. We actually would use morale instead of cool. Because cool is a skill. So if their morale is high at the beginning, they have a high morale, they're going to get bonuses to attack, but then as it goes down, they would start getting negatives. Like I said, I got to think about it. But no, right now, so how it's going to work is the person fires if they roll a hit. Right, exactly. A note on a note on a note on a note. That's the way they have the comments in there. If the person, so the attacker rolls their skills with all those bonuses, and if they get a hit, it's not actually a hit on the person. They get they have to check their morale then, but then the attacker rolls again, and if they get a second hit, then it does damage. Because I want there to be less chance of you taking damage and more chance of you just running away. You, as in the many people. And so I want it to be like, so where cool, because it's a cool check, is cool is going to be very important, and you can train your guys, and that will improve their cool and whatnot. But at the beginning, like it will just be the bullets flying back and forth at each other, and everyone will run away, and that will be the big battle at the beginning. Unless you have like one or two skilled people in there who are just picking off people, but they would have to pass 2 skill checks. So let's see here. So with this, second check to see if they damage the person. So if this is a pass, then we need to... I don't think I'm going to do crits. I think I'm just going to roll like 1 through 10, and you have 10 hit points. So it's... it can just kill you on the one shot. You just have a low chance. You know, you have a 10% chance of being killed in one shot. Not you, the defender. All right. So this is the second hit has happened. Then we got to do that right now, actually, is apply the damage to... let's actually write down exactly what we need, because I'm running out of time. Apply damage. Morale check for... or cool check for everyone on the person who is hit's team. Or what am I calling these? Cool check for everyone on the person getting shot. Person getting shot at team. Apple damage? Apply damage. What was I gonna do? Cool check for everyone that on the person who's getting shot at team. Death. Second cool check. Possible death. So if the shot kills the person, they have to do another cool check. Once again, everyone's gonna run away. But I'm thinking maybe we don't do that. I don't know. But we'll put that in there. So then on the continuing hour, where's our continue hour thing? Where's our here? To do add hourly leadership checks to restore possible morale. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see how it works. A lot of times we think out the problems and then we run in, we see it doesn't really work the way we think. Add hourly leadership checks to restore a tiny bit of morale to each fighter. Hey, Squib, how's it going? How did your raids go? Tiny bit of morale to each. All right, I'm back down to this thing, where the fuck we are. I don't know why this attack is so far down here. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, I am missing something. They were mid? I always jokingly say stuff like that to my 25-year-old coworkers, and they kind of just look at me. I don't know. They occasionally I'll get a chuckle out of them, but we also need to have like when these guys run away. Where the fuck did that go? Continue. We need to add a cool check if someone runs away. This is going to all change, actually. All of this. Because we're going to for each through everything. Everybody's side. That's a interesting thing. There's a guy at my work who just wanders the building all day. He's like 40 though, and he's really into everyone returning to the office too, which is frustrating. And he shows up every single day, and it's like, man, you don't even do anything. Get out of here. And I'm at home, and I can tell he doesn't do anything because I can hear him talking in the background when I'm calling to do like IT support. on my coworkers. And it doesn't matter where they are in the building. He's there talking in the background. Um, One time I was helping somebody set up a conference room remotely, and I said through the speakers in the conference room, I said, "Can you answer my email, man?" Because he was just wandering around. Fucking dipshit. Yeah, and then he's, oh, yeah. I've been waiting hours. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's people. I can tell when I'm doing remote support if someone's looking at their phone because I'll be like, "Hey, can you put in your password?" And then there's this weird pause, and I'm like, "Oh, they're looking at their phone." Um, but I don't know what they're looking at. Is TikTok the thing? I have a coworker that I text with all the time, and she does TikTok videos, makeup tutorials or whatever. Um, everyone loves that guy because he's really, really personable. Um, yeah. So the guy at your work that he looks busy, huh? This guy, everyone loves him, but they all know that he doesn't do anything. Um, you were saying the other day, I think, you use a lot of Excel. I also use a lot of Excel. Oh yeah, that's a good move. I wonder if the guy at my work does that. Um, and I had like a mid opinion of that guy, and then there was a company picnic recently, and I went in, and um, he gave me this sob story about how women don't like him, about how he'd been trying to date and women don't like him, and my opinion of him just kept going down as he whined. And I couldn't believe, I was just like standing there and I was like, I cannot believe that my opinion is just dropping so quickly with this guy's whining. Like it was like a one out of 10. I was like at a 5, and by the end of the conversation, it was like a 2 because he was just whining, and it was just all of his complaints were self-inflicted. And it was just, it was, and I was trying to fight it in my mind. I was like, just give him a chance, man. Just, oh, he just said, he's whatever, just, no, and the other half of my mind was like, no, fuck this guy. Fuck him. Fucking whiny piece of shit. I don't know. Like he's a nice guy, but yeah. It's but like my job is I should never complain about my job since I just sit at home and answer questions, sit on the phone. I sometimes have Twitch open, though every time I turn on Twitch, I get a phone call. Just how it is. Like it just yeah. So that's the other thing that I really have a problem with, and I don't know. Maybe you guys understand. I feel like this is definitely a me problem, but I don't like want to hang out with my coworkers very much, and I don't like my coworkers very much. Um, and so then like when I get whiny and I go like, "Oh man, I don't have any friends," I go, "Oh well, I'm the problem," I'm the, I'm the one who doesn't want to hang out with and I immediately like start talking to my coworkers, and I'm like, "Oh fuck this person." Um, so yeah, I don't know if that happens to you guys, but it's so it's back to the thing I'm always talking about where I'm saying I like weirdos. I feel like I don't want to take the time to meet the people, to get to know the people, because I know they're just going to be normals, and I don't want to be friends with the normals, which is, that's bad in itself. Like, what, just, that's not fair to them. What happens if they're nice people, you know? And I was walking to coffee one day, and I was looking around at all the people that are walking in my neighborhood. I live in Portland, Oregon, it's just supposed to be filled with fucking weirdos. And it was just all these like short wearing polo shirt, dog walking average dudes that are just like dads and stuff. And I was like, how are these people? why is this their goal? Like, who got into their head at some point and wanted this normalcy? I don't know. Coworkers involve money and competition and responsible sharing is the most. So that's the other thing is there is some drama that happens, but I just hear about it. But most of it's kind of funny because I'm coming from the outside. All right, so what are we doing there? We got our list. We got our to-dos for next time. We got to go back to this battle thing, not this battle thing. This battle thing, which is in the same spot. This battle thing. It's way at the bottom. Was there anything else before apply damage? Cool for everyone. I had to. So I have like this person who's, and they're my assistant, but they're not. Um, but they're supposed to assist me, and she tries really hard, and she's cool, like whatever. But we called a guy to help the other day, and I actually warned her before we called the guy. I said this guy has like old glory syndrome, where he's just gonna talk about he's like 50 as well. he's just gonna talk about how cool his past was, and you can just ignore him. And so we called him up, and he started yammering about his past. And then he switched to politics, and I was just like, "Oh my god, dude, this is so fucking inappropriate at work." And so when the call was done, I had to go through give my assistant a speech about like what you do when someone starts talking politics when you're trying to fix their computer. Um, and that's the other thing with making friends at work is like there's a couple of people I thought were cool, and then I found found out their politics. I was like, oh no, fuck that person, you know. And actually, it's funny, Squib, since you play Tarkov and stuff, occasionally I've thought about like going on the Tarkov Discord, or like there'll be someone on Reddit who says like, hey, I want a buddy for Tarkov. And I was like, maybe I'll message this guy, and then I'll look at their history, and it will just be like crazy right-wing shit. I'm like, nope, I don't want to have anything to do with that person, And yeah, just some random person off of Tarkov Discord, or even ABI or whatever. Yeah. Okay. So apply damage. That's going to be a random 1 to 10. We probably should make a method for that. We could put it in battle. Yeah, let's do that. Public. All the weapons are going to do the same. Yeah, that's actually Squib. That's actually another thing that's crazy too. Is the average, like you're saying, the average person, you think, oh, they're just an average person. Then when you actually hear their politics, they're pretty right. But like, I'm in Portland. Like, I actually, there's another coworker, and she's like a cowgirl. I'm gonna call her. She's from the country, and I was like, you're in cow country, yeah. And so I was like, oh man. I hope she's not a right winger. And then one day she's like, oh, I'm so excited to go this weekend to some like trans spoken word thing. Like it was support trans people spoken word thing. And I was like, oh, she's kind of weird. Awesome. Thank God. You know what I mean? Like, okay, she's not a right winger. Spoken word just on its own is weird enough that I was like, yeah, we're in a good way. All right, so we'll make this static, sure. Yeah, I guess we'll put this in combat, or in battle, I mean. We'll return it int. We will generate combat damage. And I feel like with the weapon should have something to do with the damage, but because this is literally just going to be a random number. Now I'm thinking because Lord Mac mentioned crits, maybe we should have like some sort of crit thing. I wasn't going to, but I guess I didn't think about it. Yeah, this is just going to be a random 1 to 10. Well, let's double check the hit points. Because I'm going from memory once again. I'm pretty sure hit points max out at 10. Oh my god, this. I don't know why I bother fixing this. Every time I do Control K, Control D. Well, no, now I'm thinking about it. It might be a good idea. That's the thing. You always have good ideas. Thought-provoking ideas. What was I like? Okay, hit points, max hit points. Well, that's the way I can do it is if they roll a 1, which is 1s are good in this. If I roll a 1, then they get like a critical hit. 1s are also always a hit. I don't know how much. I don't remember the hit points. Can we look at some people? Let's look at population generation. I think it's 10, but... Oh, did I put it in globals? Hit points. Hit points. No. I was thinking maybe... We put it in... Starting hit points is 10. So it is 10. So let's actually do this, just in case I ever change that. Let's go back to this. Okay, so this will actually matter. Random equals new random. But Scribe, I guess if you're still there, do you get along with your coworkers? I guess, and then if we go return, all my coworkers love me too. Your mass does? Yeah, no, that's, this should be an auto load. Auto load dot instance. Yeah, like I said, all my coworkers love me, but they don't actually really know me. I have my customer service. My customer service thing is on all the time, and especially with like the owners. And even that one dude that I was just whining about, I'm always so nice to him, except when I lose my patience. I have to speak through the speakers in the conference room because I'm always waiting for that guy. Literally on Friday, I couldn't do my job because he wouldn't respond to my messages, and I just did the best I could. And then I know, like Monday, I'm gonna walk in. Is that tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm gonna. When I say walk in, I mean sit down at this computer. You always feel like everyone doesn't like you. You seem like an affable guy. And wait, you were talking about you smell good too, and so that's like a thing. That's literally like a thing. I worked with this dude. I mentioned this guy before. What is that game? Smash Bros. He was a Smash Bros guy, and he always been talking about that and Team Fortress 2. Really nice guy, hardworking. He smelled so bad. He smelled so bad. So bad. I thought he gave me a ride home from work once, and I thought he shit his pants because he smelled that bad. Really nice guy, though. What type of quirks do you have that are making that you think are making? I know that's the thing that's so crazy about that guy is that he actually was part of that stereotype. He wanted to show me all like his Team Fortress 2 skins one day too, He like logged into Steam. Um, like I said, he was a really nice guy. He hid his Smash Bros. Controller in his trunk because I guess it's special. I don't know. Um, so he was like one of our client's sons, and his father wanted him to get a job, so we fake hired him, and they didn't really have anything to do for him, so they're like, just go hang out with the IT guy. They're like, you're a nerd, go hang out with the IT guy. And so I just showed him some IT stuff. Um, yeah, me too. I'm shocked. So actually, Tarkov is probably one of the games that I've played the longest, which surprises me because I figured I'd get burned out on it pretty quick. But I'm also playing SPT. But um, I was looking at like my Steam. I forget how you sort it by time played. But you can sort it by time played on one of these, and I was looking at like I sorted it recently, and I was like, oh wow, that's the game. Like Victoria 3, I'm shocked that I have 400 hours in. And I just started. I wanted to try out Arena Breakout because it's on Steam now, and I hadn't played it in like a year or whatever. It seems okay. It's free. I think is the key. The key to it is that it's free. I do feel bad. The guys I was talking about in chat who were struggling to fight a scab. I had a sniper rifle and I was really far away, and sniper rifles are way too easy to use in ABI. I just shot them both in the face. I didn't SKS, and I felt bad for him because then when I went and like took their dog tags, they were like level 14 or something. And in that game, it's like really easy to get to level 30 in like 10 hours. Um, and I just imagine them like trying to have fun, and then here I am, some dickhead off in the distance, shooting them in the face, the thing I hate so much. You don't like getting close to people, so I actually reached a point where people realized there's a hard wall and it was all fake. But I mean, is it fake though? I mean, I'm definitely, my customer service persona is definitely fake. And when I hang up the phone, I'm like, man, that stupid motherfucker or whatever. But I know what you're saying. Maybe, are you sure it's not in your head? Because that happens to me sometimes where I'm like, oh yeah, that guy hates me. And then later they're like, oh yeah, so-and-so loves you. And I'm like, what? What we're doing, I got sidetracked yammering. Oh yeah, we just need to put this in. This is not really that necessary, but battle control. So we're going to do int damage received. And we got to put this, where did I stick that thing? It was in battle. Did I make it static? I did. All right, so this is going to return a number between 1 and 1 and 10. Is this one of those ones? We need this to be actually +1. And then back to here. I kind of hate that, putting that +1 in sometimes. Have you ever wondered that? Like, so I remember when I watched, what's that? A Beautiful Mind. Remember, that Kurt Russell movie? I think it's Kurt Russell. No, not Kurt Russell. What's that other guy's name? The Australian guy. Anyways, the plot of that movie is that like he's got some mental illness and he hallucinates or whatever. And I often, like, I'll be walking down the street or something, and I was like, Like, what happens if you're hallucinating stuff, but it's something simple, like you think you have pants on, and Russell Crowe, there we go. You think you have pants on, but you don't. So like, I'm hallucinating. I'm walking down the street, and I think I have pants on, but I'm really walking around without any pants. But I have like my boots and stuff and my boxer shorts. I like. How would you know that you don't? You know, besides people laughing at you and stuff. But if like you did it every day, um, they would be used to you. Okay, so we got the damage. Then we have to take the damage off of the population, but we have to see if it kills them. Can we do that all at once? I don't think. Getting shot at population hit points equals minus equals damage received. If getting shot at hit points, we're going to break this into smaller stuff, by the way. I just want to get it, and then... Yeah, I guess that's true, because, like, most of the time, someone would tell you, or you would know, someone would notice, or you would notice that someone was doing something. Back to the neighborhood thing, me walking through the neighborhood to get coffee. I sometimes throw peanuts out of my back pocket. See, this is crazy. To the crows. So I actually have some peanuts in my back pocket right now. So as I'm walking down, and all the crows know me, and like sometimes they'll fly down and be like hopping along with me as I walk down the street, and I'll throw them some peanuts, right? And I can't imagine what the normal people walking their dog think about that. You know what I mean? Like back to the societal things, and also like the people who are normal. But then the other day I saw some, like, what do they call them? Pastel goths? Pastel goth? Is that a thing? Is my memory going right? Pastel goth. I think I spelled pastel wrong. I did not. I was a little worried about clicking that link. Yeah, pastel goth. Walking down the street, and she was feeding the crows too, so I felt a lot better. Okay, so if they're at 0, we need this first. Then we need this. This needs to go to here. Then we need this cool check, and then we need this, and then this is going to go in here. I needed to write this all out to make sure I wasn't forgetting something. And if they don't do this thing, nothing else, if they don't get the second one, this other stuff applies. So just this one if statement. You guess you just know if you're neurologically healthy enough. Physiological conundrum, I guess. So I have a friend. Everyone calls him Crazy Art because he's bipolar. I shouldn't probably have said his full name. His first name, but he doesn't know when he's having mental issues. You know what I mean? He doesn't know, like, I'm going crazy. He thinks that the world's the problem. So I don't know. Is that what you're saying? That you would know? All right, so we need to have some other method that we check. I'm just going to put this check. Army cool. And we should put this should go inside this. No, this should have its own method. Um, how are we going to do this? So this part should be its own method, but we need to get these messages kind of out of here. All right, we'll write it all out like I was saying. And we do definitely need to, no, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to pass in, where did this thing go? We need to pass in the actual side. Like, whose side are we checking? Because we don't know at this point who the defender is. Do we have a defender list at this point? Or is that elsewhere where I made that list? We don't have a list of the people. Oh, here's that bool that I was looking at earlier. I was wondering what it did. We don't have a list of defenders. We just, in this attack thing, we just have the person they're getting, the two people that are part of it. No, I was talking about the figment of imagination, but yeah, it is interesting that we think we know what's real. I can't recommend doing LSD because I think Twitch is against that. Probably YouTube as well. But I know that when I did some LSD, it made me. Maybe I never did it. This is just I'm just pretending like I did. It made me definitely question reality and think about the world in a different way. Oh, we're already at 3 hours. Let me push this code. Let me make sure. Let me put a note in. Not in war because I know we are kind of doing. We are doing war, but we got to get in this list here. This is wrong. This needs to be deleted. This is wrong. We are doing it a different way. This is where we're at. And I think I have enough notes in there for currently. Let's push this. Yeah, like I guess what it showed me is how fragile each person's reality is and how easily they can be. I still am wondering though what's going on in the US with everyone's stupidity. Stupidity, is that the term? Like, is it really like leaded gas that is causing this, or there's something weird going on? So what did we do today? We actually did a couple of things that were quite. We fixed a couple of bugs. I don't like putting in just the fixing bugs because it doesn't. It doesn't help me later when I'm. I wish I could see. I wish I could see what I just closed. Like, what did I, and there might be, like a list or something. The problem with this closed, I have a column that they get moved to when I close them, but it doesn't put them at the top. It just stuffs them in the middle somewhere. Let's see here. So what did we do? We fixed equipment data saving. What else did we do over here? And updated subordinate battle. Inclusion in battles. Okay, so that was the two main things we did. We started on the damage thing, but it's very, very infinitesimal. I added 7 to-dos. Okay. All right. I don't think I'm gonna rate anybody today. I've kind of stopped rating people. I don't know. It's kind of something that I don't want to. Maybe I'll go back to it eventually. But that is it for me today. Thank you guys for joining me. I will talk to you next weekend, and hopefully we will finish this whole battle rewrite. I think it'll be a lot better when we do that. It still, of course, is going to need a ton of work, but yeah. Talk to you next time. Have a good existence.